Hello, hello, my Let's Talk family. Welcome, welcome, welcome to another episode of our Business Spotlight. I am honored and blessed to have this our special guest today, Cortney Hicks. And
Oh,
before she gets started with the interview slash business spotlight, I just want to give you some of her attributes. I don't have them all here. This is enough though. Enough of them.
stop.
She has TV appearances, live vocal performances, commercial print modeling. As you see, she's a beautiful woman,
Oh,
um, actor, guest appearance on off Broadway production of Color Purple, the Dr. Oz show appearance, a special role in the Discovery Channel series Who the Bleep Did I Marry, regular pop culture contributor for TV One, Fox 5, and DC 50, press corps member of Michelle Obama's Let's Move campaign, and currently she is on KISS 103.1 in Central Texas and on the evening news as an anchor at WFXG Fox 54 in Augusta, Georgia.
there you go, girl. Come on, Regina.
Got
Come
it
on,
all in.
Regina.
And look, I didn't get it all in now, and then that was
That's
a lot.
enough,
So
girl.
that
That's
tell you this is a
enough.
hustler right here. This
That's
girl here, this woman is beautiful. So thank
oh,
you again. I will welcome you again, Courtney Hicks.
my
So how
pleasure.
are you
My
today?
pleasure. I'm good. How are you?
I am good. How do you feel when you hear all of that rolling off? How do you feel about
Um, you know how you just like you say, hustle and grind, and you just do it, and
that?
it's not until you maybe shift into another lane or you are invited to be a platform like this, and they roll it all out for you. You just go, well, damn, okay. And I think just in life, I just turned 50 at the top of the year. I just think in life we have a tendency to wallow a little bit too much in the failures and not bask enough in the victories. So I have had to
Mm-hmm.
learn how to say, oh, well, okay, girl, you doing
Mm-hmm.
this or you did that. And I think it just it leads it just I don't know, it just complements the journey, if you will. If you
Mm-hmm.
give yourself some just due, you can give yourself some accolades and a pat on the back. I think it speaks to self acceptance and self perseverance and self
Yeah.
acknowledgement, which is
Mm-hmm.
which is a bit different from other people, giving you the flowers. That's good, but you also have to. It starts with self, so you got to give yourself some flowers too. So it's always good to hear stuff like that because I don't. I some that stuff has happened just over the years, and sometimes it's not that I forget, but it's sometimes I just go, oh yeah, that is right. That's a
Mm-hmm.
pretty cool accomplishment. So and I don't want to it hasn't been all about me. There've been opportunities and situations and people who have helped me shine in those moments. So I definitely
Mm-hmm.
give credit where that's due. But yeah, it's kind of cool and freaky to hear all that stuff at the same time. Yeah.
And it's good you get through the pandemic, I learned that, we got to give people their roses while they're here. We
Mm.
do, definitely do. We got to give people their roses while we're here. And then you don't really think about it until something like this so dramatic that happened to us. And then you go, wait a minute, let me tell
What's
this
really
person I love them.
happening?
Let me tell this person
Right.
that they are special. Let me tell them that you're doing your
They
thing.
mean
It
something.
seems like we more into that. Right. It means
Yep.
more to me.
Yep. Yep.
It
Yep.
means more. So more authentic. So let me ask you,
Mhm.
one of the questions I have for you today is what is your why? Like why? Why did you do what you do? Or why are you doing what you're doing?
Well, for me, it all starts, uh, in the spiritual realm.
Mhm,
So I just really feel like I've been brought to this earth, if you will, and this dimension
mhm,
at such a time like this to be a messenger, to be a
mm,
message of love and hope, and to add some to stir in some encouragement. Messenger,
mhm,
I say messenger, lighthouse, a beacon of hope. Someone who has been designed and commissioned, if you will, to really um, salt the earth by way of my talent
mm,
gifts, with which are going to be through the broadcast industry,
mhm,
a little acting, a little singing. I do believe in kind of tapping into everything that God has given you to work this kingdom and to work this earth,
mm,
and the worldly things you can contribute to help people get back to themselves. I
mhm,
think we come into this world and we just get so far away from who we are or who we were meant to be, how we what we were designed to do. uh,
mhm,
And rightfully so. I mean, we're human. There's pressures of this world. And let's not lay being black on top of all of that, and
Mm,
all that we deal with as far as being sick and tired of being sick and tired. Uh,
mhm,
but you almost have to force yourself, if you will, to find a way to get back to
mhm.
to yeah, to your authenticity, to get back to who you are and who you're meant to be, organically.
True. Yeah, it's
That
true.
that never that process, that journey, that evolution never stops. It's really ongoing. So that is my why, to just continue to be a vessel, and I do it. That's the reason, and the why is to just impart and pour into as much as I can, as far as being that empty vessel, allowing him to, and all his angels and my whole spiritual, I like to call them a spiritual alliance, as they pour into me, to pour out
Mhm.
to just help someone along. So that's the why.
And did you feel this way when you were younger, or did you kind of develop this your spirituality and the godness that you're speaking of? Did it take time for you to get to that point?
I think I was always there as far as a child. I like to consider myself what we call an indigo child. So there's just this bit of sensitivity as
Mhm.
that there being something more, something greater, something outside of yourself. Because I wasn't a bad kid. I was just very inquisitive. So it'd be like,
Mhm.
Courtney, I'm gonna pay you $5 just to be quiet for a minute. But if I'm quiet for a minute, then how I'm gonna ask you what I need to know? How I'm gonna find.
Mhm.
I was
Mhm.
kind of a kid, and so as far as just it maturing and growing, I would have to say, just some very significant occurrences happening in my life that sort of kind of sometimes it's a soft, easy shift, and sometimes it's a very hard, dramatic, traumatic shift. And I would
Mhm.
say shift that probably got my attention spiritually would have to be the sudden loss of my father. This was back in '97, and when you talk about the quintessential daddy's,
Mm.
honey, that was tough.
I wanna know. Mhm.
Really, and I remember, everybody was talking this new millennial thing, and I remember going into the new millennial after his passing, saying, "Okay, there's got to be something else to this thing. Somebody's got to something has got to show me different or better or more,
Mhm.
because
Mhm.
this at that point in my life, that was the bottom. I was late 20s, and little did I know that things could get even rougher, if you will. It's just that
Mhm.
you develop the tools, you develop the muscle to
Mm.
better. Yeah.
That muscle, that faith muscle, I call it. It's like a faith muscle you have to build.
Evangelist Regina, you better speak. Absolutely.
It is. It really is. And the journey. I know I'm going off the path, but I got to say this. So
No,
the journey of our lives, our destiny, is first of all is God divine and is divine ordered. All right. So all the stuff we go through, he already had written in our book. It's already supposed to happen because he bringing us somewhere that
sorry.
we're going to be there for him to use us as
Yeah.
that vessel you just described. For us, we don't see it. I always say Proverbs 3, 5, and 6.
Mhm.
Lean, not lean on your own understanding, but God would definitely straighten that crooked path if you allow him by giving him that faith.
Yeah. If you choose to stop being a fool, yeah, absolutely. He protects those, the fools and the kids. But choose to woman up, man up, and that's what I mean when I say, getting back to yourself. It's already,
Mhm.
you just get so far from the storyline that you have to, put yourself back in
Back
alignment.
in alignment. That's the word.
Yeah. So, oh yeah, it's all there for you. And once you understand that it's all, you already got it, you already come, it's innate. Then you tap into it, and what you do is you radiate that thing out instead of trying to find something external, to satisfy you. You radiate what it is you already come equipped with out, and that brings you, what it is you desire. I love all the talk about. I mean, a few years ago, everybody was in the law of attraction, and yes,
Mhm.
all that energy works. That is absolutely universal truth. But
Mhm.
I think what we were missing in that message was the affirmative prayer, and the what I want to say. I usually say active faith.
Mhm.
Your faith has to be activated. And I think people were like, if I sit in this chair and I think that $1 million is gonna drop into my bedroom, we a long time. And even God is gonna be like this fool. You know what I'm saying? So, there's things that do that. There's things to that. So I think that.
I believe that. I believe that.
Mhm.
Especially the Florida of attraction. I believe in it too, but I understand what you're saying. I think sometimes the way it's taught, it is biblical, but a
Mhm.
lot of times they're trying to capture people
Mhm.
that will get scared to hear if it is biblical. They may shy away because they may not be believers or don't understand that connection of it. So they kind of present it on a different platter to
Yeah,
get the masses
I agree.
because, they do a movie, they do a book, they want to get the masses.
Yeah,
And they
yeah,
hope that in the message you'll figure out that it's biblical.
yeah. It's all biblically based, but I think we just forget
Mhm.
about the faith based action that you
Right.
have, you have to not only partner with that belief, but you have to lead with that. And so that's what I think
Mhm.
people miss out on. But yeah.
Yeah,
Mm.
that's true. So I know that in this conversation, we already kind of saw your purpose.
Mm.
So the purpose, everything has to have a purpose. And I
Yeah.
think a lot of us run around here with
Mm-hmm.
no target and no dart and no nothing. We just kind of like on autopilot.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
We look at other people and see what they're doing and kind of following what they are doing.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
it's good to have people as models and mentors. Don't get me wrong, that's great.
Right.
But
Right. Right.
when we don't know our purpose, that what gets us go through all this stuff we don't have to go through.
Mm-hmm.
Because a
Mm-hmm.
lot of things we're not supposed to be doing.
I agree. I agree. And the purpose and the mission can sort of kind of, I mean, it sounds a lot alike, but there's a purpose. Like what are you here to accomplish? And then I think for me, the mission lies more into how are you going to go about accomplishing that. So
Mm,
take the time to really sit down and think about these things. Turn it
mhm,
off, turn that phone off, down, or whatever, and really think about how you have been you know um, designed, wired to really contribute. The bigger thought is maybe to this world, or you can
mhm,
trim to this country. You can go even further and talk about wherever it is you live as far as your community, or you can really
mhm,
say, for the village, the black folks.
mhm.
Kinda- I kind of lead with that, matter of fact, because
Okay.
I know in the rooms that I sit in, sometimes I can be the only one there, and
Mhm,
best believe I'm gonna need everybody to understand that I go in there and I am people say, you know, you're a woman first and foremost. You want no, the first thing they see is black, and so that's
right.
what I. And we can get into everything else that I am as well, but I am a black woman, and I am very grounded in that, and that's what I lead with as well when I'm in all these different myriad of situations. And so
Mhm,
you just have to go in there with that confidence and knowing that you're enough, and that takes some time sometimes to actually
mhm,
get there, because most times in my case, I walk up in that room, and not only am I Courtney, but that's also how maybe later on down the line they're gonna see Regina. That's later on
mhm,
how they're gonna see Kim and Lisa
mhm,
and Anita and
mhm.
Teresa. They have a tendency to um, look at us through one particular lens, and so I'm very conscious.
Stereotype.
Have to, I could definitely uniquely be myself, but I also have to understand that they're gonna take all of this and think
Mhm,
how every black
mhm.
person is, and so I have to stay conscious of that as well, because we are just as diverse as
Yes.
any other culture. I mean,
Yeah.
I would say even more so diverse, because we,
Yeah,
we
we are.
share a skin color, but we all on some different stuff. From block to block, community to community, faith to faith.
Different belief systems and the whole shebang.
And that is okay. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. So, in this journey that you just described, what are some of your roadblocks that you went through that kind of made you question or made you deter or think about quitting, but you
Mm.
just kept on going?
Never thought about quitting. And I've always been a little fearless. Um,
Mm-hmm.
However, roadblocks probably would have been probably just would have been the challenge of being able to operate, with a on a with a different level of wisdom that would have allowed me to navigate through challenging situations.
Okay.
Whether it been, a challenging boss, to have helped me, to have been able to tap into that wisdom much sooner, to be able to pull up from it and operate from it with more of a bird's eye view, like,
Mm-hmm.
okay, well, this is what's going on, instead of being so entrenched in it. There's two
Right.
perspectives that you can sort of kind of take, right? So there's this participant, perspective, where you in it, honey. You going toe to toe, you hustling, you grind it. And then there's
Mm-hmm.
observant. You can be an observer, that sort of kind of bird's eye view, or sometimes you could just see things that happen, either to you, and just go, oh, okay, and let that thing roll off your back, or ride right past you like a projection screen, and you just go, oh, 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 okay. And you can choose not to react. You can choose not to let it stir you up. You can choose not to let it throw you off your center, or tilt your crown. You know what I'm saying? So
Mm-hmm.
I wish I
Mm-hmm.
would have come into that a little bit sooner, and then I would have been able to, like, how the athletes do on the field when they juke, like when they, when the
Mm-hmm.
basketball players, the football players fake the person out. I'd have been able to do that.
Mm-hmm.
I could take some folks out, and not have so much interference, moving towards the goal, getting to the touchdown, or making the basket. So, that's really my only things. If I could go back, people always say, if you could go back, there are a few things aesthetically I would change, and a couple of details. Like, there'd be a couple of Negroes, men, that I would not have dealt with. However, um, I
Woo!
I really wish I would have come into that sense of maturity and wisdom a little sooner. That didn't come to me until, um, I would say I would say 40s. 20s, you kind of doing your thing. You don't really, you think you've got everything figured out, and you think you've grown, but you're not. You grinding.
Mm-hmm.
30s, you have a little bit better idea of who you are and what you're all
Mm-hmm.
about. At least you should. 40s, you are really gathering all of that knowledge and that wisdom.
Mm-hmm.
And in your 50s, it's time to apply it. So you grind, you find, you stack, and then you lay back. So I'm laying back. And it's about
Mm-hmm.
opulence, it's about pleasure, it's about, doing what I want to do, when I want to do it, how I want to do it. And that's not to say I have to deal with rules and policy and structure,
Mm-hmm.
but when you are operating in your thing, you make
Mm-hmm.
everything adjust to you. And
Mm-hmm.
that's what queen is being all about. That's where a young princess is being all about, when you're coming into the knowledge of how to go about that. And I'm still learning, but it's something, Regina, turning 50. Can't nobody tell you nothing, for real, for real.
I'm telling you, well, welcome. I've been 50 for 1 year over you,
Come on
51
now. Come
now, and it's
on.
been amazing.
It is. I don't know. I don't know what has happened. I think maybe it's just the of the position that you're in, because you can look halfway back, and you're looking, forward at what the next half, and you just,
Mm-hmm.
I'm at this moment right here, from this point on, this what it ain't gonna be, or from this point
Mm-hmm.
what it's gonna be. And that has just opened up so much for me. So I'm excited about it. Yeah.
Yeah. So in all of this, where do you see yourself in 5 years?
Ooh.
We're talking about, so you'll be 55. So where you see
Yeah.
yourself
I
then?
will I will be somebody's happy, beautiful, gorgeous wife.
Amen. Amen. Amen.
And some store in some palatial estate, and all that is happening now. As a matter of fact, as we speak, I'm at an Airbnb, handling some business. All that is happening now. I will, if I would be in the broadcast industry, my goal is to personalize it more. And we have some, Regina, great examples of women out here just who have gained the access and who are doing it. Of course, for me, in all of her completeness, whether you care for her or not, Oprah would be my blueprint. Absolutely.
Mm, mm.
The fullness of everything that I would
Great
desire,
choice.
down to the acting and owning her own business and the network thing. That's definitely the blueprint. But I have, like I call, a board of directors, and I take little bits and pieces from folks that I can identify with. Was never a big Medea fan, but behind that Tyler Perry grant
Mm.
is unreal. So there's elements of that. There's another guy by the name of Byron Allen, who is another
Oh,
billionaire that you might not know about.
no,
Oh,
no, 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 no. I know about buying. I got to interrupt you with this one. I've been telling people forever. Just because somebody's not in the forefront and jumping around all the time doesn't mean they ain't making nothing happen. Brian Allen been on since back in the 70s when he did that show. He has been in the entertainment, in that
what
industry. Woo!
media buying up everything, the Weather Channel, local news affiliates, buying up everything, and is on a mission. It's on a mission. So there's Byron Allen, there's
Mhm,
Bob Johnson, former
mhm,
BET, just bits and pieces of people who
mhm,
are my board of directors. And I even, Ryan Seacrest, he came out of
mhm,
know, and just the privilege that he was able to construct for himself. I'm saying, American Idol, that's Fox Network, and then you would turn the channel and see this man covering the Olympics for NBC, and then he's got a deal with Bravo. He's behind all of them Kardashian.
mhm,
Executive producer, creator of all of those reality shows. So don't sit up here and tell me it cannot be done. And we have enough
mhm,
examples, whether it be African American examples or just examples in my industry, to where I know it can be done. Robin Robinson, we all know, her greatness with GMA. But if you pay attention
mhm.
to these TV projects, she is executive producer. She did the Mahalia
Jackson. Mhm,
there's plenty of examples of how of how it's being done and how it can be done. Of course, it will be, the Courtney way, because that's your power. Nobody,
mhm,
nobody else can bring it or do it like you do, because there's only one of you. But I'm
mhm,
excited about the examples that I have and the blueprint that I have, and people who have, laid the foundation. And so in 5 years, I definitely see, I got it from where you kind of measure your success, if you will, in decades, because that gives you more grace and it gives you more time to really
mhm,
move into that elevation, if you will. Where a year, girl, we're having 2021
mhm,
by like a day. But 55, I'll be halfway through this decade, looking at 60. And a lot of what I'm speaking of in regards to these folks, I hope to be, well on my way, either into or pretty much positioned to manifest those things as well.
mm. That
Yeah.
sound. That's
I
what
know it's
I'm
a big
talking about.
thought. I know it's a big thought, and I've gotten very specific. The book of Habakkuk tells you to write that thing down. So I'm very,
Mhm,
writing, I'm very, very specific. But just to get the point across here on this platform, it sounds like a big to do, but you got to get very specific as to what you want to do and why you want to do it, and then leave the how to God and His.
mm. That's it.
Mhm.
You're not supposed to try to figure out that middle.
I
The,
just
the middle, leave the middle alone. And that's what a lot of people mess up at. They could try to control everything. They're very controlling. You got to let go of the middle.
absolutely, absolutely.
You know what you write and you know what you're in. Let
Hmm.
him do that part. And you just do the possible, he'll do the impossible.
There you go. There you go. Come on,
Yeah,
Pam.
I'm telling you, I had to learn. You would sound like me all day long. This whole thing I'm all this I'm doing right now, and let's talk. And I just wrote a book. Just released it 2 months ago on Amazon. Just became an author.
Oh,
I'm a
congratulations.
professional organizer. I started 3 companies in 1 year since I turned 50 years old
Wow.
because
Wow.
I decided to live in my purpose finally.
That's right. And I'm telling you, I'm not, I don't want to dismiss the loss, the heaviness of our losses, the shock and awe of our losses. But, this,
Hmm.
and the spiritual realm also represents, a cleansing. And
Hmm.
if now such as a time like this, it now more than ever, if you don't take this time to reposture yourself, to be repositioned and to be remolded, and the whole thought of beginning again, having the grace and the mercy that we're given to begin again, then
Hmm.
I don't know, going forward after this thing subsides, if you will. um
Hmm.
if if not now, then. So I really feel like on the other side of this pandemic, well, we'll get to another side of it. I don't think we'll ever get rid of this virus. It'll just hopefully become like the common cold, the common flu, and we'll just treat it like.
Hmm.
But
Hmm.
but on the other side of this pandemic, if you didn't catch something in it, then I don't know.
I don't get it.
I don't know if you're gonna be able to maintain, or got it's time. It is time. It is not only your time, it is your turn. And if you miss this, I don't know. Mm.
So I don't know.
Never say
It,
never, speak that over nobody's life, but this is critical right now. I don't know. The veil has been lifted. And if you don't,
mm.
I
All
don't know.
right,
I don't know what you're
I'm
gonna
about to call you Deaconess Hicks.
know what you're gonna do. This is as raw and real as it gets, honey. This pandemic has just been. And then everything you lay on top of that, these natural disasters and stuff, y'all better pay attention to what's happening. So yeah, yeah,
It revealed, and like you said, a cleansing of the spirit, a cleansing of your thoughts, a cleansing of your home, the
yeah.
cleansing of who you deal with, who you friends with, who you. I'm telling you, it opens up a whole floodgates of things that you could clear out of your life and follow His purpose.
What do you cherish most? What are your true priorities? What what matters most is what this pandemic has kind of presented to me, and trying to, within the midst of all of the negativity and all of the confusion and the chaos, um what can I find in this pandemic? What's the positive in the pandemic? So I've
Hmm.
to even try to find some positive, in this pandemic. So yeah,
And
my prayer is that people don't allow this moment to go by without it, allowing them to shift, change, evolve. I don't know, whatever,
transform.
transform. Yeah, it's very transformative in nature. It is a transformation if you allow it to be.
Hmm.
Okay.
If you see the right side of it, it definitely is.
I was talking to somebody the other day. Come or get dragged. So take your chance. Come on or get.
Whatever way, it's going to happen regardless.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
It's gonna, and that's why I think we get confused. That it's gonna happen regardless, whatever you do. Like we think we control so much, we control nothing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Only yourself, yourself. Yes, you control that to a point,
Mm,
but that's about it.
mhm,
That's
mhm.
about it. So let's say this young lady out there, like you were saying, you look up to Oprah, and there's definitely a lot of women looking up to you. I know people see you on the news every night, and there's a lot of people that's in school right now in communications and media, and they want to sit in that seat. They want to be a Cortney Hicks. What do you tell them? What advice you give them?
Pray
Amen.
and map it out. Think it through. Stay you, because yet again, I said it earlier, that's your power. Nobody is coming the way you come.
Hmm.
Do your and I'm gonna get into my Ayala. Do your work.
It work.
Gotta, you gotta know who the hell you are. How you gonna
Hmm.
in a moment and not know who you are? Show up in a moment and be doubtful about if this moment is for you, or if you're good enough in a moment. And that's to anybody, young ladies. I mentor young men, grown folk. You know,
Mm.
my prayer is that for people to just continue and or begin to walk heavy. Walk heavy in your purpose, but you gotta know what your purpose is. So that's
Mm-hmm.
what we gotta do. And for my millennials and my Gen Zs, I love y'all, but this don't happen overnight. Started in the early, or as matter of fact, in high school is what my real first taste of radio. I was a strong song team reporter for FM 98 WJLB in Detroit. I was in 11th grade.
Mm.
Does not come overnight, and you cannot, what do I want to say? Stop with the comparing and relax that sense of entitlement,
Mm-hmm.
because you are not just going to come into this thing and have and achieve what folks have who've been doing this thing for a couple of decades. It just there's a process, and I think these young folks just don't want to sidestep the process and get right to the prize. And
Mm-hmm.
there's going to be some pain, there's going to be some process, there's going to be some push, and I don't know how you think you're going to get to this. Maybe this whole internet and this whole ad
Social media. Mm-hmm.
sure have given people this false sense of accomplishment or achievement. And I never, because I have a lot of millennials that I work with as well, and I never want to be a Debbie Downer when it comes to their dreams and their aspirations. But let's be realistic here. You know,
Mm-hmm.
I love their fearlessness, and I love the fact that they think big and dream big, but
Mm-hmm.
how applicable their process is a little questionable. So yeah,
Mm-hmm.
pray, think that thing through, write it out, and do your emotional work. So when that moment presents itself, or you have done the work and you've created the moment, you can really step up in that thing, step up in that promise, and you can hold it. You have the capacity and the bandwidth to hold it, and it won't be so fleeting. And
Mm-hmm.
you can really master it, if you will. And so I don't know, like you said, 5 years from now, I don't know exactly what, but I know I'll be in this industry. I can tell you that much. And sometimes that's all you need to know, that you will be in this lane, and those lanes might continue
Mm-hmm.
to split and divide, but you will be still going in a for the most part a particular direction, in in
Mm-hmm.
in maybe a few different lanes, but the same highway to get you.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah. I told my daughter, she's 26, and she just called me actually today to ask me some advice about a situation. And I was like, take it as a learning. Everything that happens to you is supposed to happen to you, first of all. So think of it that way. I think it's the way our mindset is set. And we start thinking the way it's supposed to be done, you won't take nothing personal.
Mm-hmm.
You would think everything is a learning lesson.
Mm-hmm.
And you know that you need to ask God, what is this for? Why are you doing this? So I could learn, so I could take it, put it in my tool bag, and then it'll, you keep collecting, and
Mm-hmm.
then you'll be able to overcome so many things because now you understand why it's
Mm-hmm.
being done.
Yeah.
That's what you saying about the millennial. What you said, the Gen X.
Generation Gen Z, so they're under millennials. So Gen
Okay.
would be like your late teens up into your early 20s, and the millennials. There's different
Yeah.
millennial generation, because you have the millennial generation who are a little younger, and then you have the millennials who are a little older, who were born before the internet and all that, so they have some of the foundation that we had.
Hmm.
um
Hmm.
so they're kind of like got this dual thing going on here, because half some of their life where they can recall life before technology, and but they were pretty much came into who they are in their adulthood in the age
And hmm.
and I have a brother like that. He's 39. He definitely
Hmm.
however, he ain't nuts. He's not he's not crazy like like my dear precious millennials, who I love so very much, who are celebrities and so on and so forth. He's more indoctrinated into a process, into a
Hmm.
line, into a step by step, where some of the younger millennials are like, "Oh, good morning. I want to be a mogul today." Okay.
No process. No process.
but okay. So yeah.
No
Mhm.
process. Just
Right,
it's going to be and this, and that's it.
right,
Well,
right.
yeah, that's true. That's true. Well, okay, so now you're working at the radio. I mean, excuse me. Well, working at a radio station as well as working on Evening News.
Mhm.
So, what do you see coming up in your near future? What are you currently working on that you could talk about? Because I know some things you don't want to put out.
Um, I'm sort of kind of easy breezy right now. I feel like I'm still I feel like being here in Augusta, Georgia, and being afforded the opportunity to sit in the anchor chair has allowed me to now really be, if you will, in that space and in that environment and learn it, day to day, and the language and the atmosphere and the pageantry of it all. So
Mm-hmm.
step is to level up, and
Mm-hmm.
as far as a new level of sophistication, as far as a new city is concerned, a
Mm-hmm.
a newsroom, to whereas maybe there have been some vets there who I can look up to, and I can pattern myself after, or just say, hey, yeah, I like how they do that, or I like how. So I haven't had that just yet because my newsroom is very young, so I
Mm-hmm.
can taken aback because I thought maybe there'd be some examples, but I ended up being the example, if you will, in a different kind of way. To whereas I might have been learning this new way of being an anchor. I've been doing television for 10 plus years now, so I've been in the newsroom, but not in this manner. So there was some learning there. But as
Mm-hmm.
far life experiences, people are just going to gravitate to who they feel comfortable with sharing and who they feel comfortable with, getting advice and some wisdom from. So I ended up being, I've ended up being that for the newsroom. So there's this balance between, okay, I still am sort of, and then I come from management in the radio industry. So there's still some of that going on, but at the same time, I'm like a rookie in this anchor chair trying to learn at the same time, but I think I found a nice balance. And but 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 I'm ready to be somewhere where even though I may be 50, there's still somebody there who's been doing this a very long time and can say, "Hey, Courtney, I'm looking
Right.
to that." So there's that. I'll keep my big toe in radio for as long. It's the foundation. It's what afforded me the platform. So yeah, I still do a radio show and virtually in Central Texas. So there's that, and I'm just open and looking forward to what's coming next. I feel like I put so much into the career that as long as the only way it's not going to happen is if I give up, right? So they're
Mm-hmm.
confident in that. I'm leading right now with the personal aspect of my life. It's time to partner with someone and be anchored in that way, especially with both parents being gone and there being I think that the next closest thing to being anchored in the way that your parents do is being with someone, whoever that
Right.
someone is, you. And so I'm very much looking forward to that and to some other personal goals that have
Right.
the list. And so things have kind of shifted for me. The career, yeah, but am I going hard grind and career and I'm married to my no. Mm-mm.
They say you
Done.
50, you're like, oh, I did all that already. So
Yeah.
it's time for you to cook.
Um,
It's kind of like you did all the work. Now you want to
yeah.
cruise control.
Yeah. And it's gonna come and you still have to show up in it and there are moments where you're gonna grind a little bit and hustle and you have to be very attentive and vigilant. But when you've put those shifts, those gears into shift, that it just keeps rolling, and you just have to maintain it. But for the personal side of my life, um,
Mm-hmm.
that's the new build, if you will. That's the new
Mm-hmm.
airing that really needs my attention, and so that's where I'm at right now.
Yeah,
Mhm.
taking care of yourself. You got to do that anyway.
That's
You have
right.
to do that anyway. So as we wrap this up, and I hate to because you are wonderful. I love
You're
hearing you talk. You're talking about some stuff here.
let me just say you about yourself, Regina, too. You have this very matter of fact presence about yourself that lends to just a level of comfort Well, folks are going to continue to come on this platform and talk about things that they never planned to talk about, or share things that they never thought they'd share. So that is your anointing. That is your gift. Just so comfortable. You're just
Oh,
comfortable spirit. So just know that. Just know that.
oh my gosh. To get that from you,
Mm-hmm.
oh my gosh.
Gonna sit up
Uh,
there and tell it, girl, when
mm,
I was in and when I was 20, nobody know. Yeah, you got that about you. You have that about you. Oh yeah.
you don't
Mm-hmm.
understand how much that means.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-mm-mm. We got to talk about that a little later. Anyway, um, so tell me, yeah, we'll do that off air. So tell me, what are some of your defining moments as we end this interview slash business spotlight? Something that hit you right there. You tell me that
To be able
you knew
to
you made it.
survive, yeah, to be able to survive watching my father take his last breath in 97, to be
Mm,
survive a health crisis in '08 where I almost checked out of here, and to have been able to hold my mother's face as she took her last breath and not die with her. I'm good.
mm.
I'm good. I'm good.
Whew, that was deep.
I'm good.
Mm-mm-mm.
I'm good. So bring it. Bring it. I'm not looking for no drama or nothing like that. When I say bring it, I'm talking about the goody good, the wins. But you're gonna get some of the other stuff too. But you can bring that too,
Mhm.
because oh, okay, oh, oh,
So okay, that's what that this is what it's all about. It's just following your journey
yes, hmm
and accepting your journey
hmm
and receiving your journey.
hmm
A lot of us don't want to receive. We want to control. If we just release and let him just do his job,
mm.
your
Just
abundance
the
will
job
be
that he
so overflowing.
yeah, the job that he wants to do for us. He is yearning to do this job for us, and we just that's his gift. I think that is so dope. How we were created by him, yet he allows us. He operates under this hands off kind of thing. You have to invite him in. It's called free will. So he's gonna let you do what you want to do, but when
Mm,
you
mm,
get ready, he's right there. Just invite him on in, and we use he as the pronoun because that's just the society we live in. But you can't relegate God to a he. It's not a he, but that's what we use to kind of make ourselves clear and to communicate. But even open your mind up to what that is all about.
mm.
And bigness and the vastness of it all. Yeah.
That's what it is. That is what it is. That's a great time. Thank you so much. We'll end it
Thank
on
you,
that.
Miss Rena.
Woo, this is beautiful. I enjoyed this so much, Miss Courtney Hicks. I know you have a busy schedule, and for you just to open up your time for me today has been a blessing. Thank you so much.
Girl, anytime,
And I
anytime.
hope I hope we could have you come back on a or I wanted to do a show about news media because I know a couple other people that's anchors. So
Mm-mm.
that would be great to have y'all together and talk about that industry.
Be more professional. Be more professional. Yeah, we had church and we had fix my life moments this time, but next time
And
we
that's okay. That's all that this is what I like. This
love
is just
that.
me all day. I'm not doing anything different than what I am because like I said, God, if he take me and set me, then I don't care about it. So thank you so much, so
My
much, so
pleasure.
much, Courtney Hicks. And let's talk. You have been gifted a gift today. So thank you again. And until next time, we'll be able to talk. Hold
Absolutely.
on. All right. Have a good one.
You too. Love you, girl.